What's going on, everybody? Dick Burns here. And if you watched part two, you got to see exactly what kind of mindset you need if you're going to open a store. All right. A little recap. You either have to have customers, you have to have money, or you have to be a little crazy. All right. So, this is going to be part two of what you got to do if you're going to open your own card shop. So, the very next thing you have to do when you decide, yes, I'm going to open a card shop, is you're going to have to find a location. Obviously, you can't just play cards in the middle of the street. So, when you do find that location, before you even sign a lease, there's a few things that you have to do. All right. So I just picked the next town over because I would never open a store in my town. So opening a business in Winterville. All right. So first things first, find location. Whether you're looking for an existing space to rent or vacant land to purchase, contact the Winterville Planning and Economic Development Department. We attempt to keep an updated list of available properties that are ideal for your specific needs, or just go find your own thing. Prior to signing a lease or purchasing a property. So you find a place, you think it's perfect, right? These people might disagree. Okay. So prior to signing a lease or purchasing a property, we highly advise you contact the planning department to determine if the planned use is permitted at the location. If you're moving into an existing building, we also suggest contacting the fire department and inspection department to determine what may be required prior to occupying the space. Yeah, so if it wasn't hard enough to find a space, you then need to make sure that the township is going to let you do what you want to do in the space. It, could be likely that the township just doesn't like your kind of business. And when it comes to this business, a little piece of advice would be when you go to the township, you're going to want to tell them that you're opening a board game store, okay? And that you're specializing in tabletop games, things that people play in person. They're going to love that. Talk about Monopoly, talk about Scrabble, talk about Pokemon cards, okay? The people that you are going to be talking to, they've probably been at their position for many years, okay? They can think back to all the fun times they had playing board games with their family. If you just go in and like, yeah, we're going to play tournaments, people are going to win prizes, like, red flag central for some of these people, okay? Let's see. So then you're going to have to submit a zoning compliance application with the planning department. The application can be found, whatever. Fill out general information section, sign on the last page. All right. On a separate piece of paper or within the body of the email, please provide a detailed explanation of the proposed uses. Again, they're going to want to know everything you're doing. All right. If you, if you want to open maybe a bar or something, these people might say, yeah, there's too many of them here, or we don't want that kind of crowd in the town. There's probably 1 to 3 people in this office, and they are going to determine if you're even allowed to run whatever business you want to run in this town at all. Okay. So be nice to these people. So, again, if I was submitting this, I would say, we are specializing in games that we play in person, family style games. We're going to have a retail area when you walk in where we will sell board games, collectible card games, and ancillary products, okay? Stuff like sleeves, deck boxes, storage containers, okay? And then we will have seating for X amount of people, whatever you think you can fit in the store. And that will be where people can come in with their friends and their families and play these games on a weekly basis. All right. We will also be selling light snacks and refreshments for people that choose to be there for extended periods of time. All right. That's just a short, sweet. I think they would like that to hear that. Not guaranteed success. All right. Don't come after me if they deny you. So when I opened Gamers Vault, we were denied by one town because we said that we'd be selling video games. And they said, we don't want that kind of crowd hanging out in our town. So, okay. I know the town that I grew up in, very hard to get a business open. Like almost any business, very difficult to get any business open. On top of this, when you do find a space, we were denied by Acme, which, depending on where you live in the country, it's like, I think it's an Albertsons brand. So it's kind of like a Publix or a Food Lion. We were denied by them because they thought that, like, you're going to have like the Logan Paul type people in their shopping center, and they didn't want people that played games like Pokemon or that played video games. So it's rough. Let's see. After a zoning compliance is obtained, you will need to contact the building inspections department and fire inspections department. When you are opening a business, I guarantee you everyone wants a piece of your money, right? You're a new starry-eyed person, you think you're gonna take off and be super successful. All right, they want some of that money up front before you lose it all. Let's see. All right, so here's the application for zoning. This is what you'd have to fill out. uh you're just going to need the address, your phone number, what kind of property it is. You're going to need to already be talking to the landlord, because you're going to have to provide all of his information so that they can corroborate what you're saying. I'm just going to leave this up here for a little bit for you to read. You can screenshot it if you want. For any of those just listening along, so you're just going to have to explain what utilities you're going to be using, which you're going to have to get that from the property owner. Like, you don't know if it's hooked up to you can assume it's hooked up to public, but it might be septic depending on how rural your area is. You're going to have to explain if you're building a new building. If it's already constructed, you're going to need the square foot usage. If you're telling these people that you're going to be, I don't know, a nightclub and it's 400 square feet, yeah, denied. Let's see. You're going to need to give them the name of the business and what business was previously there. If you're moving into a GameStop that closed down and you're opening a store called Gamers Heaven, they might just say, no, why are we going to waste our time? GameStop couldn't even make it. Some other game store is going to make it. Let's see. You're then going to have to explain exactly what your sign is going to look like. Most likely, you have to have the same exact kind of sign as anyone else in the shopping center, unless you're a standalone. And you're going to have to ask your landlord for the dimensions, all of that stuff. If you are going to have a temporary sign out front, you have to fill out a whole nother thing for that. So sandwich board signs, that's an A-frame sign. Like, literally, if you want to put a sign on the crosswalk, you need a permit. They want your money for everything. All right. So, like, they're asking for exactly what the sign is going to say, exactly where you're going to place that sign, stuff like that. And then they are going to give you feedback. They're either going to say, yes, we approve, we love what you're doing, welcome to the town. Or they're going to say, no, we don't think you're going to be successful. We're not even going to waste time. Like, the township makes money collecting the sales tax within the township. If you have multiple people looking for places to build something and they think one is going to be more successful than the other, obviously they're going to approve the one that's going to be most successful, that they can collect the most income from. All right. And then you are going to have to see if you can get the utilities turned on. All right. So I called Winterville, and to get the utilities turned on is $625. Just straight up upfront. Your application fee, your deposits, all that stuff, $625. This is going to vary from town to town. I believe when I opened my store in New Jersey, there was none of this. There was no deposit, application fee, nothing. So it depends on where you are. Again, places with like maybe lower taxes or lower income in general are probably going to charge more upfront because this is just how they make their money. And yeah, that's everything. So if you've, let me blow myself up. Yeah, so if you have decided, yes, I'm opening a game store, and then you've decided, wow, this is the perfect location, you can see how much more you still have to go through. Like you're not even close to done. This is also why if you are friends with someone that is trying to open a game store, they might look lazy in your eyes because they might even talk about this for months and months. When in reality, they could have been in the background doing this for months and months and just getting denied places or not having the right information, or they're dealing with a landlord who, has hundreds, tens, 20, whatever properties, and you're just on the back burner, whatever, your little card shop's not important to them. So they're not giving you the information you need to fill out all of these forms. But yeah, anyway, this is part 2. Look forward to part 3. Thanks, everyone.